From a tiny 8-bit man to a fully open world experience, here is the evolution of Nintendo. On February of 1985, the NES was released, along with Super Mario, which sold 60 million copies worldwide. It was able to provide a gaming experience that was thought to only be possible at an arcade. While the Atari and other lesser-known consoles did exist, they didn't offer the same graphics or power as the NES.
Now you're playing with power.
This would help change gaming into a home console era. Take, for example, Super Mario, which today has sold over 222 million copies across all platforms. Super Mario was just way more advanced than a little ball bouncing across the screen. It made you feel like you were in a whole nother world with weird creatures like Goombas. 1 year later, The Legend of Zelda was released. This game was the blueprints for bigger games like Skyrim and even Elden Ring. It threw you into a world of nothing but a sword and just the excitement to explore. On November 21st, 1991, the Super Nintendo was released, which sold 60 million units worldwide. It caused gaming to go from 8-bit games to 16-bit games. The SNES greatly increased the power and audio quality of the NES. The games on the SNES were Super Mario World, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and the first Mario Kart game. This was the same year the Sega Genesis came out though, leaving the two in an all-out console war.
What Nintendo?
Even with Sega throwing jabs at Nintendo, the Super Nintendo pulled through, selling more copies. On September 26, 1996, the N64 was released, which sold 32 million copies. It quadrupled the SNES bits though, moving it up to 64 bits. It offered one of the most iconic libraries of games to this day, with the likes of Super Mario 64, Super Smash Bros., and what is widely considered the greatest game of all time, Ocarina of Time. The N64 had competition though with the PlayStation. Sadly, the PlayStation outsold the N64 by 69 million copies. On November 18th, 2001, the GameCube was released. But despite its name, it wasn't even a cube, with the measurements not even adding up. The GameCube switched out the cartridges for discs though, being the first disc-based console. It lost to the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. On November 19th, 2006, the Wii was released, which sold a whopping 101 million copies. The Wii introduced motion controls, which was at the time groundbreaking technology. It managed to bring families to all come together and brutally destroy one another in Wii Sports. Seriously, does anyone else have a grandma who's really good at that game? Unlike the Wii, however, the Wii U flopped due to bad marketing. Most people brushed over it, thinking it was just an add-on to the already existing Wii. It was released on November 18th of 2012 and was the first console to introduce an NFC reader. This allowed you to use the amiibos on the Wii U gamepad. The Wii U only sold 13 million copies. On March 3rd of 2017, the Nintendo Switch was released. It was the first console to be both handheld and a home console at the same time. It has hosted some of the greatest games of all time, like Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and even Tears of the Kingdom. Though it's not as powerful as the Xbox or PlayStation, most people would still agree it's one of the best consoles of all time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!